sense to diversify supply chains, especially after what we saw during COVID and some of the issues that we had there. And so we've been seeing a bit of foreign direct investment flows more to Southeast Asia. And but at the same time, if we look at FDI flows to China, they continue to be strong. And I think that China will continue to be a very strong and key cog in the global supply chain order.
Key, but not number one.
That's right. Well, I think that China will continue to be number one, but perhaps a diversification to its neighbors will be likely.
Okay. How are you positioning yourself in China right now, given what we saw as many would call it a liquidation event at the start of this week? Did it spook investors? Has it got you worried?
Well, I think that we may be in a period of consolidation in China as investors suss out the different policy prescriptives that have been outlined for the next 5 years. And I think that this period of consolidation will be a time where we assess what the impact of longer-term economic growth that some of these policies may have. But ultimately, I think that China remains a very, a very interesting place with lots of opportunities for investments, and we continue to be quite optimistic about its future.
You like the EV space, which a lot of investors do fancy at this stage because obviously it's the future in the whole energy transition drive. But you're talking about state-led support. I was reading up somewhere about how actually for a lot of these businesses, EVs like Neo Auto or Li Auto, Xpeng, the subsidy support has actually gone down. And so how do you build the case of right. things picking up at a time when their guidance has also been weak?
Well, I think that you have to play the long game for EVs and also some of the EV batteries. I think ultimately the policy support for this industry continues to be robust, although it may be diminishing. And that's because the EV companies have actually done quite well over the past few years. So the subsidies are going to come down. But I think that, the lesson number one for investing in China is you want to invest where there's policy support. And I think that there will continue to be policy support for EV. This is part of China's, alternative energy and green energy and commitment to being net zero. So it very much fits into that vision.